Thank you very much. This is the Prism Microproducts Dealer Conference 84. In a few minutes we're going to talk to some of the dealers as they come in to ask what they expect from this evening's show. There's a great show in there, a few surprises for them, but we'd like to know what they think they're in for. Could I just ask you a couple of questions as to why you're here? How did you hear about the Prism Dealer Conference?
Well, quite simply, obviously sent an invitation straight through because we are Rumbelows.
Fine. You're from Rumbelows,
yeah.
And you deal with Prism products?
That's right, software.
What are you expecting out of this evening?
Don't know really, don't know what to expect to be honest.
You don't?
Really, just looking forward to see what you got in 84.
What are the products that have been successful from Prism in?
Well, obviously we get these sort of Sinclair computers from Prism. Then again, the software, launch the software into the branches, be very successful. Hopefully we're there looking at robotics and etc.
Ah, robotics. You think there might be a robot or two in tonight's show?
Well, some room has it.
This lady is from Hamleys. I get to ask her why she's here this evening. What's brought you to the Prism show?
To see what's going on. I had an invitation.
What do you expect might be going on?
New product, I hope.
Have you already dealt with Prism products?
Yes, since this time last year.
And what sort of products have they been?
The Sinclair 48K, 16K printers and software.
Have you had any inkling of what this evening's products might be?
I thought it might be robots.
Do you know why you're here this evening?
Yes, I've come to see the new computer and the robots.
How did you find out about this?
Because Mr. David Bonds came to see me last Friday and gave me the information. I also had a card sent to me about the invitation, and because I felt so interested and ought to come, I've travelled down specially from the Harrogate Toy Fair to be here tonight.
Do you expect to see something new this evening?
Yes, I do.
You do. And you're excited by it?
Yes, I am.
What's the date?
It's the 13th, Friday the 13th.
Friday the 13th. It would be, wouldn't it? Yes. All right. Okay. Well, I think that's, William Shakespeare. You can get your pen back. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, William Woolard. On behalf of the management and staff of Prism, we repeat that very warm welcome to what must be one of the ritziest venues in town. We've got a pretty ritzy show tonight as well, and avalanche of information, of course, from Bob Denton, as you'd expect, as he's got you as a captive audience. But also some pretty good things to look at, from some very nubile dancing girls, which I'm sure will, thank you very much, to some rather less nubile but very mobile robots, which I'm sure will. If you have any problem in distinguishing between me and Fred and Topo when they eventually appear on the floor here, and the slightly taller one with the rather more cultured voice.
William Woolard then went on to reveal some of the latest facts and figures relating to the high-tech computer industry. And he set the scene for Prism's managing director, Bob Denton, whose first job was to announce a change in the structure of the Prism Group.
Correctly, on February the 1st, we will be changing the company to Prism Technology Holdings Limited. Prism Technology Holdings Limited is pulling together a range of high-tech talent and a number of high-tech companies to look after each of the market sectors.
Bob Denton then explained that Prism Technology Holdings Limited would include Prism Consumer Products Limited, handling Sinclair distribution, software and peripheral wholesaling, and the new range of Androbot domestic robots. Prism Software Products Limited, with its highly successful merchandising operation. plus the new Romox electronic software distribution system. Prism Business Systems Limited will supply modems, comms packs and networking interfaces to the business market, together with the new Wren executive system and the Sinclair QL Micro. Prism Information and Communications Limited, incorporating ECC publications, whose magazines currently include Practical Computing, Computer and Video Games, and Which Computer. Prism International Limited, with offices in London and New York, will handle import and export of Prism products. And Prism Developments will continue to research and develop products to keep the group on the leading edge of technology. Then came one of the highlights of the show, the Wren executive system.
Fastest performance for an 8-bit micro, because it is a particularly powerful one. It's using CPM3, and what we have is our modem built into the hardware, and we've got our communications package on. You wouldn't be surprised to learn that, because of course it's been an area we've been spending a lot of time on. Equally within the package are the perfect calc, perfect writer, and perfect filer packages, so financial planning, word processing, and database management. The benefit of perfect over the rest is that if you develop, say, a financial planning sheet within perfect calc, you can use it in perfect writing. So it's a very powerful series of three of the standard programs.
But undoubtedly, the star of the show was Topo, the robot. Developed by America's Nolan Bushnell, this is the first domestic robot to be introduced in the United Kingdom.
It's the personal computer market, where when the first Apples were launched at around the same price, we had a situation where we didn't know what the winning applications would be. And so what we have here is a development tool to allow people to develop their own applications.
Adding a touch of glamour to the world of robots, the dancers of Beaux-Arts joined Topo on stage.
starting out in life dancing with girls, and I must say, I find that very human. But what can one really say about them as a new development? I think the whole problem of robotics and robot development is really bedeviled by two things. One is our own complete under-assessment, if you like, of our own abilities, our ability to move and flexibly and so on, our intelligences, which are possibly immensely difficult to transfer to a machine. And you can watch this, they're giving enough to suffer if they get too close. The other thing is the fact that our expectations, of course, are raised to immense heights, and possibly attainable heights, by all the science fiction and by books, by films and television and so on, the R2-D2 pseudo-robots, if you like. But having said that, what can Topo here do? Well, as you can see, he can move and manoeuvre stably and very precisely. That in itself is a major advance, largely attributed to the drive system and the wheels here, the angle, which enables him to cope with unevenness in the floor and so on, gives him great stability. He can adopt a pretty simple dance routine, he can maneuver around, and he can speak in several different voices, like even play around with the tone, the pitch, and speed, and so on. He actually has one of his favourite songs, which now, as you can see, he gets into. So he's much more than a sophisticated toy. I think anybody writing them off as purely expensive and sophisticated toys is really sticking his neck out or risking getting his fingers wet, like use the metaphors. But also, of course, he's a hell of a long way from being a useful robot, somebody who can bring in the milk or load a dishwasher or give you a decent gin and tonic. Obviously, he sits somewhere in between. I think in large measure, he's a fun item, and there's nothing wrong with that. A lot of this market is driven by the fun motive. It's a very, very important part of all your incomes. But also, he is, I think Bob is right in saying, a highly developable, a genuine second generation prototype that is available for development. So anybody interested in robotics, professionally, or as an amateur, school kids, for example, or laboratories, can begin to design their very own creature by adding on peripherals, hardware, adding on sensors, running their own software. So in that sense, really, obviously not a revolution, one wouldn't use that word, a very real step forward, if you like, and where that step forward will go, how big the market is, what it will lead to. I think anybody who tries to stick his neck out and say where it will lead is in a rather weak position. I certainly wouldn't attempt to do it. What I would say is I think it takes a hell of a long time before they develop one of those to do my particular job. That really brings me to the end of this particular job, and before I hand over this £1 million worth of lasers and lights above me, which are dying to go to work, let me simply say thank you very much for listening so well and so patiently. An avalanche of information really you've had in the last hour. Most of it, if not all of it, is in your press patch, but thank you once again for listening so well and patiently.
And for the grand finale, a truly dazzling display of high technology.
What did you think of this little beauty?
Well, it was very good and has a lot of potential.
Really? For
Yes.
your line of business?
Very much so, yes.
And who do you represent, may I ask?
We are from Computers for All. We're a Prism distributor, and we, currently distribute Sinclair products and software.
Were you surprised at all by any of the content of the show?
Rain, I thought, was very impressive, and also the robots.
Great. How do you see the Prism range developing? Anything that could be more use to you, do you think? That they could develop?
Not really. I think they cover the field fairly well. The modems are of great interest to us, and we are seriously looking at marketing those, and hopefully the robots as well.
Splendid. Right. Okay. Well, off we go.
Thank you.
Thank you. Can I ask you what your firm is?
Pearson's Enfield Limited.
What did you think of the show tonight?
I thought it was absolutely excellent.
Any products there that were new to you?
Yes, the QL was new. The robots,
What did you think of the robots?
absolutely fascinating.
Do you see them being a useful development?
I don't know. It's maybe not. I don't know yet. Got to reassess it, I think.
What particular item interested you?
The girls, actually.
You see a use
The
for
dancers.
them? Thank you very much. From the Prism Microproducts Dealer Conference, that's all.